Hello there. You see this? If you're seeing the video, you see, man, that's a big eyeball. That's what happens when you look through a magnifying glass. I'm sure you've heard about how people have burned ants. I've never done that, but some people do that. They use a magnifying glass and they use the sun and they focus all that heat on those little bitty things to burn them up. I don't see the pleasure in that, but I do see the point in that, how it's destructive. And the same thing is true when we use a magnifying glass to look at ourselves, especially when we fail. But even when we succeed, because if we use a magnifying glass when we succeed and we focus on that, make that really big and huge, we can get so full of ourselves and get ourselves into trouble. But more often, I would say we tend to use one of these things, a magnifying glass, to look at ourselves and focus on our failures when we mess up. Because everybody messes up. You're a human being. I'm a human being. Messing up's part of life every day. But somehow we seem to think that it's not, but it is. But success doesn't last. That has something, we have to do that over and over and over again too. And failure is not permanent either. Neither one of those things are permanent. So why do we look at them through a magnifying glass? Because we're trying to get some validation. But instead, what we can use this magnifying glass for, instead of magnifying how great we are to make ourselves feel better, or magnifying our failures to beat ourselves up because we're comparing ourselves with someone else or even ourselves yesterday, we can magnify grace, magnify forgiveness, magnify mercy, because we all need it, and magnify courage. There's a quote by Winston Churchill that says, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal, it's the courage to continue that counts." And when life is hard, because life has been hard the last couple of years for everyone, some people more than others, sometimes it's hard to get out of bed in the morning. Sometimes it's hard to pick up one foot and put it in front of the other. But when you do that, magnify that you have tried again. And when you have screwed up, forgive yourself and seek to do better next time. And on Sunday, we had a thing at our church called At the Movies, and they talked about a movie which I had not seen, but it's called Moneyball. Maybe you've seen it. And it was about a baseball player. And this baseball player had this great potential, but he just never could succeed at doing what he was so gifted at. And we can fall into that in our lives too. We can be so gifted to do something, but we have trauma that's screwing us up, or maybe just our mindset. We don't believe in ourselves, or whatever it is that gets in our way that we just can't seem to succeed how we are trying to succeed. One of the things that was so pivotal in this movie is they had to think differently. They had to think differently. And that's what we need to do with ourselves. We need to think differently. We need to magnify something else, magnify grace, magnify trying again, magnify a new day, and magnify that you are not alone and that God will help you if you ask him. He would love to help you. He loves to help us when we can't help ourselves because he knows that we need him. So I want to magnify the good. Look at the good. Look at the try again. Look at the I did better than yesterday. And maybe you're making progress. You made progress. You made progress, and then you fell back. Well, stand up, dust yourself off, ask for help, and try again. Because every day is a new day. Every breath is a new breath. And to give yourself grace. I need to remind myself of this all the time too, because I need to give myself grace because I mess up too, because I'm human. And when we're on social media and people only see a part of our life, they can think our lives are perfect, but they're not. Nobody's life is perfect. And I'm that lady on the internet, Danielle Burnock from DanielleBurnock.com, Love Yourself from Survive to Thrive. But my life isn't perfect either. And I have bad days, and I have times when I have anxiety, and I have times when I struggle because I am human. And so you are not alone. No matter what's going on in your life, I want to encourage you to not magnify where you have messed up, but to instead magnify grace. Instead, magnify mercy for yourself. And when you do that for yourself, then you can do it for someone else. And that makes the world just a better place, because the world needs grace and the world needs mercy, because we have been going through so much these last couple of years, and we need grace and mercy in our lives. And we need that courage to continue and to encourage one another also. Maybe you have a friend who's going through something hard. Encourage them and hug them, pray for them. And however you can help them, if they're one of those, they're struggling to get out of bed in the morning, they've gone through a lot, or maybe you are, reach for help and give yourself grace, because you deserve it, because you're alive, because you're breathing, because God loves you, because I love you. So till next time, I love you.